So welcome back to our new Each One Teach One session. Here we will discuss about new topic every week. And as we already know that there are two things which can be increased by sharing. What are these? I'm not going to put this question in Kahoot, so don't worry. The answers are those are happiness and knowledge. Okay, so let's get to the demo. Okay, so we have selected a topic which will be useful by an admin, for an admin and a developer, so that they can improve their productivity. So let's see what are those applications. And before that, so is this for you? As I have already given in the title, it is for developer and admin. So if you're an admin and developer, you can use this one. Yes, if you're an admin or developer and developer, you can use this one. We'll actually have categorized the extensions. We have extension for login so that we can save our login credentials. And there are some other types like setup, navigation, metadata, debugging. We will discuss all these types in this session. Okay, so let's get started with the first extension. Okay, I just want to know how many of you have already using this extension, Salesforce logins by Cinebo.
This is the first time I'm hearing this.
Sorry?
There was a different one, right?
First time I'm hearing this one. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, so there are different login type, but right now I'm using this one because this extension have a unique feature which I will going to discuss in the demo. So what are the key features? As we already know, it will use for storing credentials, and we can have buttons so that we can open that org, and also we can import and export those credentials if you want to share with anyone. Yeah. So also we have a grouping functionality so that if we have multiple orgs, see any project will have multiple orgs, like develop, and UAT and production. So if we want to store those credentials, it would be better if we just group them all. So that particular feature is available here in this particular extension. Well, this is not the unique feature, but I'm going to discuss what is unique feature which is not provided by any other extensions. Yeah, so we can, this one is the unique feature. So we can have a pin code so that if anyone, if let's say I have shared my system with someone else, right? If they have password of my system, they can log in to the org as well, right? So if we want to stop them, we can have a pin code for that extension. So if we want to access these extensions credentials, then there is a pin code. Okay, should I directly go to demo or should I? Well, actually,
yeah, you can show that extension and then come back to the next one. So that will
okay,
be more.
that would be better, right? So here is the extension. As you can see, it is asking me pin. If I cannot provide it, I cannot access those credentials. We also have some other login type extensions, like we have this one, Salesforce Login Helper. We also have Organizer for Salesforce.
How is it different from Organizer for Salesforce?
This is not the difference. What I can say is Organizer also does the same thing. It can also use for logging, saving the credentials. But Organizer have some other features than this particular Cinebo.
Is that a free version? The Cinebo? You showed this enter pin code and everything, right? Is it a free version?
Yes, it's a free version.
I mean, how many logins can we store in this Cinebo?
Well, they have not given the limit. I have searched about it, but I didn't get anywhere. Oh, not here. Okay, let me show you how to add a credential. As mentioned earlier, we can create groups. So right now I've created a group named as Naveen, but we can create a group based on the project. So once we create that, we will create some credentials under that. So we need to select what is the group name. We need to select the type of the org we are using. It can also store community license, community credentials. And we can also provide what should be the default page when we open through this extension. And we also have this feature to add, well, actually there are different extensions which can be used for only for this favicon. They call it as favicon. The use of favicon is, if you see here, there is a color mark for this particular org, right? It's a green color, right? So this will help to identify the org. But actually I use this grouping system rather than that, but we can use that one. Okay. Not sure. Yeah, I just have to give the title, username and password, and it's our wish, we can store it or not. We can store the security token or those, because if we do not store the security token, if we want to generate a new security token, then we will get that security token on email. So we need to again ask, then we will get, we need to raise, and then we will get security token on email, then we need to store it somewhere. So instead of that, what we can do is, we can just store it here.
But how much secure is this tab? Is this, we are storing the security token here in the tab, here in the Chrome?
It says they are using encryption. As you can see here, it says we store them encrypted.
That's what I'm telling you. They are storing our unique keys in their systems.
Yes.
That is not good, right? How can I trust you? You're a free, like it's a free extension. And how can I trust you that like why should I give you the security token to you, by the way?
But then that question is valid for any login extension, not just for this one.
But again, yeah. So username and password, that's fine up to some extent. But
there's no some extent, half extent. Like if you're using a login extension, then that question of, okay, my username and password is stored with somebody, remains valid for any login, including Chrome, because a lot of us, we do remember username and password within Chrome, and all these Chrome extensions actually use that data in a way. Like if you think technically, I've not built an app, but that's my understanding. So we're letting those credentials be saved in any login browser or using these extension apps. So I think the best way to look at that is, most of us work with DevOps and less of production. So I think we can restrict the usage of any sensitive information to DevOps, because there's no sensitive data or there's no major impact even if something goes wrong. So that's how I would put it. If anybody has more insight, yeah, would want to know better, but that's what I think. Because the question of why should I save it somewhere, if that to that question, it should not be saved anywhere, including the browser. So let's use it for DevOps. I'll put it that way, because no, we don't work.
Well, that's why it is not as mandatory.
Sorry,
he said
that is not a mandatory, right? So we cannot use.
It's not a mandatory field.
Yeah, not just secure token, yes. In general, about even the access part, putting the password somewhere. I'm saying we can restrict it to DevOps if you're not sure about the security part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's move on.
In that condition, maybe you can use this one. So there is another logging we can use, which is Salesforce login helper. So here we need to select the org type, username, password, just that's it, nothing more than that, right? So we have another extension which could be used as a login helper, but there are some new features which is provided here. Let's see what are these. As we know, it can store credentials. It also has a option to select our favicons. Yeah, so this is the best feature I think it is. Like, we might have struggled a lot while deploying a particular component to production to any org, right? Can I show you that? Okay, let's do it this way. After completing these extensions, I will show you this particular thing. because we have developer work, and on developer we cannot have.
So in a way, this is to ease out deployments using chain sets. We know that there are other ways of deploying, but a lot of smaller projects are using chain sets, which are actually painful because the way you have to select the components, deselect, and a few things around can be made easier using this. And since it cannot be shown in dev org, maybe you would want to show in a different org, maybe a ongoing org towards the end. But yeah, that's what this extension does. It makes the deployment easier using chain sets.
Also, the beautiful feature so we have is we can have a select all checkbox. So if you see on profile, if you want to give field of security for any particular object, we need to select each field. If you want to give edit, we have to select edit. But Salesforce, what we'll do is, if we select on edit, it will by default take read, because if we want to edit, we should see, right? That's okay. But Salesforce is not providing an option to select all those fields. Let's say if I want to select all those fields as read only, we cannot do it right now. So for that, we need to use an extension, and this extension can help in that way. I will show you that how it is helping that. Also, it can help to see code coverage of particular class, but we are not going to use for that. I mean, the best use of this application would be for the checkbox, right? And also saving the credentials if you're not want to use that particular another application. So it also have a feature like, let's say we have created a lookup field. If we want to add it to page layout, we can add. We will get an option while creating a particular field. But in order to add the related list of that particular object, we cannot do that. So this can help. I mean, there is a checkbox option which can automatically add lookup object tab to the page layout while creating a lookup object. I mean, lookup field. Okay, I will show you how I'm using the organizer. Okay, if you see here, I logged in with one credential with one org. That's why it is showing one. If I logged in with my 10 component, 10 orgs, it will show 10 by default. We don't have to do anything. But if we want to save that credential, we need to come here and we need to create a new credential. Here also we have the same option. We can store a security token.
I didn't understand the last point in the previous slide, wherein you're creating a lookup field for an object.
Lookup field thing, right? Okay.
This
So
you're
when
telling
we-
us about saving user ID passwords for different orgs as on a single tab wherein you can check it. How is that helping in creating a lookup field?
Well, actually, I'm showing the list of features that application is providing. Well, this application is used to store the credentials. Along with that, there are some other features like select checkbox and the lookup tab.
Okay. I think
where are those options, Navin, on that organizer? Can we see them, or is it like only available in pro version or something like that?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. Where do you see it? Can you show the options?
I don't know why it is asking me. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, right now we are on profile, and if I want to select any object, let's select an object. Here, if you see, we have field and we have permissions. We can provide permission here, right? So when I click on edit, if you see here, we have a checkbox here. This is provided by organizer for Salesforce.
What, isn't this a default?
No, by default, it will not be there. We need to use this extension to have that particular checkbox.
Are you sure?
Sorry?
Are you sure? I don't think so.
Yes.
So you're saying that read access on the top to select everything or deselect everything is not Salesforce feature. It is.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not there. We won't have that select all checkbox.
Where we see these checkboxes, you don't have that select all, deselect all on the top. So these extensions come handy there. Same thing for change sets as well, which you was talking about earlier. So yeah, Sushma, you're also saying the same thing, right? It's not available.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have another extension here, which is very useful for developers. I hope everyone is using already here, this one. So the features it provides is, so what we can do is here is, we can search any metadata from one click in one place. So usually what we do is, if we want to open any particular class, then what we have to do, we need to open the developer console, then we need to search for the particular metadata class, right? So instead of doing that, from setup itself, we can do that. I will show you how we can do that. Yeah. On setup home, we will have this component. Okay. From here, we can search anything, any metadata, and we have a category. We can now also filter those metadata here. Yeah. So here I have selected trigger. That's why we can see only trigger. Similarly, we can see the code coverage of every component, every class. And also we have 3 categories here. We can search by the 3 categories. We can see the org-wide code coverage and the independent class and the average. Here we can see list of classes with the code coverage. Everything is spinning. Okay, this is the org. Okay, that's it. And if we select this particular option, then we need to select the class name.
In short, it's an easy code searcher for somebody who's not having the org on VS Code or any other IDEs. That's how I think this works. So sometimes it's a quick org, and especially people who are not developing on that org will not have the entire project on their VS Code. That is when they can install these. Even admins or consultants, anybody. If you want to check something quick, if it's existing somewhere in the code, this is a easier and faster way. Yeah.
Yes. So earlier, what we used to do is, we need to open the developer console, we need to search the class, then we need to run the test class, and then we will get the code coverage. So doing those 4 or 5 steps, we can do it in a one go.
Yeah.
And we have some other options, like we can test the PMD here, static code analysis. We can do it from here itself. I've tried, it's working, but yeah, we can use this application for this purpose also. Usually what we do is, in VS Code, we have this option. We need to install some plugin, so we can do in that way. But during this section also we can do it. Also, we have another feature, which is, even this is new for me. It's lightning linter. So what it will do is it will debug. What it will debug the lightning components, and it will see whether there is a variable created. So it's no use when we have created the variable, but we are not using that. So it will identify those things. And also we can get the record detail. So basically, now this is a new feature which is under a beta. Well, we can create a lightning component. Lightning web component from here itself. But actually, we already know that from developer console we cannot create a lightning web component. For that, we need a different editor. Right? We are using VS Code for now. So instead of using VS Code, we can do it here itself. So these are the features which is provided by Advanced Code Searcher. So we can search any metadata from using this extension.
So Naveen, one question I have.
Yes, Yuni.
You showed that there is a what's that word linter check for
Sorry?
analyzing the code.
Yes.
How, is that something which is doing the same job that a tester does in terms of we as a person testing the code?
No.
It's different.
This is different. This will only identify whether we have written a code which is not using. Right? We will generally what we do is when we create a method or variable, but we are not using that particular variable or method somewhere else, then it's no use, right?
Okay.
So there's no point of creating that. So it will identify those kind of things and it will tell us to remove that particular line. And there are some other things it can do. I don't know exactly. Maybe Naresh, I know about it. Right, Naresh?
What is
So
that?
you know about PM scan, right?
Long back, I
Programming
tried it.
mistake
Yeah.
detect.
It
Yes,
will-
even I.
so
So it
basically,
will basically identify what are the unused code is there, right?
exactly.
Yes.
Unused code and unwanted code
Yes.
and unwanted comments. So
Yes.
it will basically tells us like developer like this is not required. You can get rid of this.
Also the console log. We cannot deploy with console logs.
System.debug.
Yes.
So it's moreover used for the clean up the code.
So easily we can navigate to these metadata classes. Okay. Along with that, we have seen how we can see the code coverage in 3 different categories. So those are 3 categories. Also, we have seen that we can run static code analysis for unmanaged packets, similar to Lightning component, Lightning Web component. And I have shown you, right? So we can create Lightning Web component from this extension, which is not even provided by developer console. Yeah. So here we have another extension, which is Salesforce Devtools. Using this extension, we can view the Salesforce field API names. We already know that on detail page, we cannot see the API name. We can see only label. But what if I want to see what is the API name so that I can refer that in my Apex class? We use that for cross-checking what is the value is provided for that particular field. And we have some other options which can be discussed there. We show you there itself. Has it already 115? Okay. So here we have that extension. Okay, right now we cannot see that option here because we are not in a detail page. Okay, let's get back to detail page. Okay, I guess we can see that now. Yeah, as you can see on this particular extension, what we can do is we can see the API name of that particular field. Let's see that in live. So this is a cool feature, I guess, because I use this here. And also we have another features which is listed here. We can, but those features is already provided by some other applications, so I'm not discussing it, or else I can do that here also. So we can create a new record from here itself If we don't want to use a button, we can do it from here itself. And also we can query. See, right now we have selected all the fields. So generally what we do for querying a particular an object, we open developer console, we search that particular object, and then we select the fields. Can I show it here? Okay, I will show it. Let's say I want to query something. Then I need to write it down right here. So instead of this, what we generally do is we search the object .obj, and here we select those fields. Let's say I want to select these fields. If I execute, so I can get the data from in this way. But instead of doing these things, what we can do is from here itself. What is the extension? Yeah. So from here itself, we can select those fields, and we can get the result here. And even we can export this particular data. Yeah, sorry.
No.
Yeah. Also, we can generate the test data for our FS classes. I mean, if we want to create a test class, we need to generate data. So for that data, we can use this thing. So we don't need to write anything. We can just copy from here and we can paste on the test classes. This is also one good feature which is covered here. And apart from this, yeah, so we can have this documentation button. So from here we can see what are the fields it is provided. So we can see what we can do with this account object. So we can see the list of fields and what is the purpose of the particular field. Those things can be done here. Well, this documentation thing is not given in anywhere in any other extension I have seen. So I feel this is a unique feature. Also, we can see the debug logs. Well, for debug logs, I'm using some other application, but I can show you that here itself. Let's say we save this particular record. This is purely for developer. So here's the debug log. Right? So we can do in this way. But for debug logs, what we can do is we have another extension that we can see. Just now I shown, right? There is one application which can be used to view the field API names. Right?
Yeah.
Similar features also provided on this extension, but it is only for viewing the API names. Nothing more than can do. So the reason why I have added here is if you don't want to use that extension, we can use this one. The advantage it has is we can use shortcut button. So earlier what we have done is we have clicked on that particular extension, then we have clicked the option. But here without clicking on anything, just with a shortcut button, we can view the field API names. So as name suggests, it will be used to debug the Apex classes. Earlier we have seen, right? So we have seen the debug logs. So instead of using that application for debug logs, we should use this one. Why? I will show you. So here also the benefit is using this shortcut key. So if we click on Shift W, we can directly go into that particular log. We don't have to select that particular extension, then option, then open the log. We don't need to do that. Instead, we can do that within a single key. I will show you that. So what was the key? It's Shift W. So when I click on Shift W, I will be guided to this particular page. So here I can see all the logs which is generated right now. So I prefer this one is better than that particular debug log extension. Hey. Okay, here we have one important and useful. I mean, all those applications extensions are useful, but this is somewhat is a must. If you're not using this one, then no one will prefer as a developer. I mean, should not say this. This is that much important about this application. So what it can do? So we can open any metadata or a data from the UI itself, and we can also shift. I mean, if we want to log in with some particular user, we can do this by using this particular application extension. That is what mentioned here. Also, we can update list of records. It will use like a data loader, but I will show you how can we do that. And here also we have query editor. Best feature about, I mean, I will let you know what is the best feature. I will show you that. Also, we can view, let's say we are in detail page and I want to view the data provided there. It would be best if I just get those data in a table format. Or else if I get the data, I can modify it in a single save button. So those things can be done if we use this extension. I will show you how we can do that. So if you're using that Salesforce Inspector extension, so we will get a button what we should say, I don't know, I don't recall it. This will be on detail, I mean, this will be on classic version. So similar thing is given here. So if I click on it, I will have an option to open any record, any object. Let's say I want to select this particular record. I click on it, I will get the record here, right? So if I want to see the details provided here, I can see here itself, but it would be best if I have that in a table format. So here I can see that, right? And here from here I can also export, also I can edit. And also the best thing is we can see the fields which were not on the page layout. Let's say I'm viewing on some page layout which doesn't have these all fields. Then what I have to do? I need to again search for that particular page layout, and then I will need to modify that particular field. But while doing a debugging kind of thing, at that point of time, we can use this particular extension. So here we can see what I want. I want to check what is the value in let's say address. as you can see here, I just want to check what is the address provided here for billing address. So I can see in this way, right? And also I can export. Yeah. So here I have mentioned one thing. What is that? The query editor provided by this extension is super advanced. So why I call it a super advanced is one minute. Yeah. So from here itself, we can select what are the fields we need. So I click on it like this randomly, can select. And then when I click on export, sorry, give me a minute. That's why I should not save.
So this also shows all the fields irrespective of whether they are in the page layout or not.
Yes. It will just debug every field. Got it. So in this way, we can export in any format, whatever we prefer. So if we are working on integration, at that point of time, we can use this JSON type. Let's say I provided this way. What was that? Yeah. So that is used. Again, landed here. Okay. Yeah. So this is not related to Salesforce, but it can help everyone if they use this particular extension. It will just capture the screen, not just the screen, it will capture whole page. See, we might have a requirement where we need to send the page we have developed to a client. At that point of time, we cannot use screenshot or else kind of thing. So at that there we can use this particular extension. What it will do, it will just take a screenshot, but it will take a screenshot of full page. And we can either download it or else we can send it as a PDF format. So that is what we will get. We use that particular extension. Where is that? Let's say I want to send this whole page to someone. How can I? Generally, we don't do. What we do is we just export it. But if we have a page which is long enough like this, then we need to use this particular extension. Where it is? Yeah. It was okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's say I want to send this whole page to someone.
That's nice animation.
Yeah.
Again, it means a whole page in the sense of including scrolling or only capture one. Or including
It will
scrolling.
capture everything.
Including scrolling, right?
In a minute.
Yeah, whatever you scroll down, that is getting captured. So he scrolled through the entire
I'm not
page.
scrolling. Yeah.
That means because only for the capture one we no need to install because we can take shift control shift command for 3 or something like in Apple and the print screen in Windows.
Sorry, Nandara. Cannot understand.
And just I'm saying if it is capturing only the screen, then we can do it with a few commands. Right? That's what I'm saying.
Okay. But actually, I don't know about that. So we'll see that. I thought that is not possible. That's why we are using. That's why I have included this particular extension.
Scrolling, including scrolling, right? Okay.
Yes, it will automatically scroll and it will take the screenshot.
Okay.
And also we can download it as PDF format or image, whatever we said. So that is the advantage of using that particular extension. And again, we have something new, which is not related to Salesforce, but can be useful. So this is a color picker. So what it can do is it can pick a color and we can get the RGB and hexagon codes. How we will see that? Let's say I want to know what is the color of this color code of this particular color, so that I can implement this on somewhere where I'm developing a component or kind of thing. So then what I'm going to do is we need to select this particular extension, which is provided here. And if I click on it, as you can see here, it says this is a hexagon code, this is the RGB code. So we can copy this and we can paste it somewhere where we need. So I have recently using this thing where I have developed this experience cloud kind of thing. There it will be very useful. Not that there itself, but if you're building a component where we have buttons. So let's say we have a button and that button should be of particular color of the particular theme. At that point of time, we can use this particular extension. Yeah. After that, we have this what font. So what it will do is it will identify what is the font of that particular text. That's it. This is also an extension which will be helpful. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing. Let's say I want to know what is the font name of this particular thing. Because when we are developing a website, we should not select any random font. The font should be same all over the website. And it depends upon the use case. So we have extension here. It's a what font. If I click on it, it will get activated. So wherever I will take my cursor. It will automatically detect what is the particular font name is. Well, actually, without using this, we can do actually by using inspect, but that is another next step, right? So this is a simple way of doing this.
Is that
Right.
to only identify the font, or does it also help to change it? Like, for example, in this use case you're showing, the cursor shows different fonts in the code itself. Does it also help you to change it altogether to make it a uniform code font?
No, we cannot change it here. I mean, if we are writing something, maybe we can take this example here. Okay. Give me a minute. What we can do is, let's say we have a text here, and we don't know what is the font name. Actually, we can identify particularly from here itself. But if it's a website, oh, we can do that in Severe. Let's search about altokk website. So from here, if we want to know what is the font they are using, we can use this. Right, it will help us to identify the font name. Yes, Srini?
Yeah. No.
So if we want to modify, we cannot do that here. It will just identify what is the font it is it has. That's it.
It's a very specific use case for CSS or UI development when we are trying to refer to some screen and trying to replicate that. I think that's it.
Yes, we can have this information. I see. Or we can also see the color code of the particular thing.
Yeah, but this can also be done using console, the browser console. So
yes.
Yeah. Anyways.
We need to do inspect that. Yeah, can do that.
You can inspect and do that.
So any questions?
No.
No, right? So as per summary, today what we have discussed is we have discussed about some useful extension to improve our productivity. That's the only purpose of using these extensions. Yeah. So I have provided the references for each extension here itself. So you can, when I share this document, you can go through it. Let me think what I have missed here. Did I miss anything? I'm just thinking, recalling it. Okay. Yeah, I told you that how can we redirect to particular record or object from here. But we also have a unique feature here, which is not provided anywhere. I mean, I didn't see any other extension which can do this thing. We can just navigate. I mean, we can log in with that particular user. Let's say I have a user called Mario. Okay, so I have a user called Mario. If I want to log in with, as that user, what I generally do is we need to go to user tab, then we need to see the login button, then we need to do that. So it will take 4 or 5 steps. So if you want to a shortcut, we can use this one. From this we can just log in with as that user. So we can do in that way. Okay. So right now I am logged in as Mario. Right. Sooner I can do in this. Yeah, I have shown you this one, right? Okay. So that being said, I guess I'm good. I mean, do we have any question? No, right? So can we move forward to Kahoot? So we are good, right? We can start, right?
Yeah, you can start. Everybody got it right. Excellent.
Who was quick?
Who was the quickest?
Yes.
Okay, let's get to the next question.
Everybody got it wrong.
Right?
So we have seen that, right? On fourth, last option, we have an option to create LWC component that is provided on Salesforce Advanced Code Searcher.
Okay, Devtools doesn't give that.
No, only that particular application gives the ability to create a LWC component.
Narendra has climbed up. Okay, only Narendra and Sushma got it right. Okay. Wait for double points. APS is a custom metadata type. Ah. Rajalakshmi's reactions are like this. Rajalakshmi, you've used it, right? I remember Prashant having specific conversations with you.
Yeah, I used it, but in a hurry, I kept it wrong.
So that
I'm the only one. Yeah, I'm the only one.
I'm still not in top 5.
With one wrong answer, I went to 10th place.
Sorry?
With one wrong answer, I went to 10th place.
Don't worry, with right answer also, I'm in 6th place. Yeah, let's go.
No multi-select.
What?
Till now, no multi-selector.
So far, no. I think if he is using it strategically, it should come in second half where everything will change suddenly. Toppers will go behind. Oh, finally, I'm on the podium.
So we have seen that, right? On profile, if we want to have that particular checkbox, select all box button, it should be provided by this particular extension.
This means one of Sushma or Narendra has got.
There are some other extensions which can do that, but that is particular to that particular. Sushma and Narendra.
They got it right, but
Yes.
yeah. I didn't read the question properly. Naresh, is that the same case with you?
I selected the wrong one.
Yeah, I selected the wrong one. I didn't read the question properly. Wait, hold on, Naveen.
No change. How is that?
No, but is the answer correct?
Yes, we
True.
can share.
Oh, I thought records don't go, right?
No,
We can deploy custom metadata type records.
it's a custom metadata type. We
Things
can.
don't do that. Metadata can do that. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, next question.
Yeah. Bah,
I doubt.
rename.
Choose one color.
Which color do you choose?
I forgot.
I'm the 11th person to answer this, so even if I get it right,
Digital experience.
okay.
Sure.
I got it
Okay.
right.
I am surprised.
I got it right. Yeah.
I
See,
got it wrong.
Got it wrong.
Content management.
I am surprised.
Content
I
management.
got it wrong.
Actually, I was the same place.
Yes, Sushma, will you answer me?
Blue color. No, CMS is content management system, right?
No,
No?
Yes.
CMS, Salesforce CMS renamed as digital experience.
No, what does
No,
CMS
no.
stand for?
CMS stand for Content Management System. I don't know.
Content management system, social.
That's what I'm confused. Okay.
Yeah.
At least this time.
There's a green color option. That
Oh, damn, man.
I didn't see the green color option.
I didn't
Just
see
saw one
that.
right answer and I went.
But I'm supposed that's also supposed to be the right answer.
Oops.
You all gave all.
Oh, inspector can also show API names, right?
On
No, I
the
mentioned the detail page.
detail page, yeah.
Yeah, on the detail page, if you
If you
click
want
on,
to see detail, if you want to see the API name of the in detail page, there are only two extensions, which is Salesforce show API name, and there is another one which is
which you don't forget, remember, that's okay.
Gone. Myself
Sir.
gone.
Next question.
wait a minute.
Sushma also got this wrong.
Yes.
Multi-select, I guess.
That's okay. Move. It's okay.
Okay. See. So,
Really, come on.
Whenever I climb up,
Oh, yeah.
There is multi-cell.
no. Not
Which metadata cannot be added to production? I was too slow. Too late.
This is a complete guesswork.
right. Only two options are there.
I got it right, but I was too slow.
I guess it's correct. నేను పెట్టేసిన తర్వాత ఆలోచిస్తున్నాను నేను.
I selected Apex triggers. I selected something else wrong.
Because Visual Force pages and Lightning components are not metadata.
You cannot modify Apex on production.
No, but we cannot also modify VF pages, right? I was not able to do that the other day.
VF page you can modify.
No, I was not able to do that. I was doing it in March.
No, Roshan, you cannot edit anything in the production environment.
Yeah, even the Lightning components can't be edited.
Nothing you can't change it except custom metadata. That's the only records we can add it or delete it. That's it.
Exactly. No custom code can be modified.
Okay, I'll firstly let Naveen answer this because he is the one. Then I'll comment. Naveen.
Okay.
see, as per now, I have seen that we can edit the Visual Force page and the Lightning component. We cannot do for LWC, but we can do for Lightning component and Apex REST.
No,
Yes.
but we cannot do that. I wasn't able to do that for this.
Which
for
one?
of
Visual
the
Force or
training.
Lightning component?
Lightning components, I'm not sure, but Visual Force pages, so we cannot do.
No, you cannot.
LWC, we cannot do. So I believe Lightning components also can't be done.
To the best of my knowledge, we cannot.
No
edit
custom code. Yeah, actually, no custom code can be modified in production.
Okay, hold on. Anybody else who has any comment on this?
I know only first two, like red and blue, they cannot be edited.
Yeah, those two cannot. That's not even a question. But visual. Okay, it's been too long. But Rupali, are you still able to hear us? Because I think we can edit VF pages.
Cannot edit the Lightning component also. We can only edit the Visual Force pages.
We can edit Visual Force pages, right? Yeah, that's what even I remember.
Yeah.
No, but I wasn't able to do that.
Other than that, we can't edit.
Lightning component through UI or some change in deployment, I think we can directly. But yeah, I'm not sure about Lightning component. Sushma, you were not able to do maybe the.
No, Lightning component also can't be modified in the production org.
Oh, are we sure? I mean, are you sure? Component, not the web component.
Yeah, because I tried. I with editor, but with that also we can't modify directly in the production org. We have to modify in the sandbox only first.
Okay. Okay. At least pages. There is another board along with me where we know that it can be edited. Don't know if it's changed or if there needs an extra permission on your profile or whatever the reason why Sushma you were not able to do. But I remember pages we can modify. Lightning component, yeah, right now I think we're going ahead with our experience, but not a concrete supporting proof. So I think more than the quiz, somebody needs to check.
Lightning component can be.
Have you done it?
Yes, I have done it.
Then I think we can do both. Now, people who are not able to do, I think that can be a separate discussion outside of this meeting where you can share how you and where you've done it. So,
What is the hard link? What happened?
When you wait too long, I think it takes you there.
Okay.
I think we were waiting too long on that, so that's what happened. But yeah, what I was saying is, you can share how to do that. Okay, only I got this right.
What is
Okay.
this?
Yeah, yeah, that's like the hard limit. There are other soft limits, but you can keep increasing. You can request for more and more and more, but after 900, it's like, no matter who you are and how much money you have, you can't go there. So Lightning component, Naveen, you can share, and Visualforce pages also maybe you can test and share.
Yes. Okay.
Let's go to the next one. Is it the last one? Two more. Okay.
Two more.
So far I am on podium.
Top.
How
You're
many
on the
follow-
top.
Saw this morning. Okay. I think I've got this wrong without reading completely. I hope there's no tricky parts. Yeah, thought so. It went to 500 and it came back to some 490 something. Okay, nobody got it right. Fine.
I got it.
So Sushma,
I
Yeah,
got
so-
it right. I got it right.
It got you a chance of winning now. So you, me, and Narendra have absent. But let's look at the last question.
Last question, double marks, multiple. Come
It
on.
should be about Naveen. So I'm hoping. Where is my hometown? Okay.
Oh, that's
What?
that. Pune.
Goa.
It is hometown. Hometown is where it is
Goa.
native place, right? How can it be Pune?
Goa.
My genuine request is last couple of questions should be technical, competitive, where it can change the equation of the leaderboard,
Yes, sir.
and not like a social media question.
Somebody said Pune.
Because
Who is that Pune?
sorry,
Who kept the
Somebody
topic?
selected
Pune?
Pune.
what is that? Who?
Pune, someone selected that.
I selected Pune.
Yeah, no one selected Pune. You selected Pune.
No, Prashant selected.
Prashant
Rush.
selected.
I'm just kidding.
Rush is the winner.